everyone, and welcome back to Black Cats TV. We're back. Injury updates, transfer rumours. So before we get into it, do like the video, do subscribe. It really does help us out. It helps us push us to more people to see the video who then might subscribe as well. So do your part. Give it a like. It pushes it out to other people. Subscribe. Just helps us out. Nearly at 2,400. Do it now. Thank you. Reggie Labrie from 28 years later will scream at you otherwise if not. So back to it. Injuries. Huggins seemingly got injured against Huddersfield last night, went off at half-time, and Labrie said he's picked up another injury. I was talking to Wayne of Only Fools and SAFC last night, and we both said the same thing, which is a right shame because Huggins is clearly a talented player, really good going forward, and, you know, not a decent asset to have, but with this repeated injury that keeps coming back, I don't know if it's the same one, but just this frequency of his injuries, is it time for us to sort of call it a day, especially when you've got the likes of Nordy who can play it right back as well as Hume, and you know we've got the two defensive covers now as well as another player that we're talking about in a little bit about transfers that can also play it right back as well as centre back as well. So it's probably time to cut. I don't like saying that. I think he's a good player, but you know, these injuries keep happening. It's not going to be the best for him there. But the big one that we're all, you know, hoping for and fingers crossed and everything there is Dan Ballard. Reggie Labrie said last night, it's not too serious. We expect him to be out for 2 or 3 weeks. So thank God. Thank God for that one there. That'll probably rule him out of Brentford. I want to say Crystal Palace, possibly back after the international break, but then Villa and Forest after that. So you might find him in and around after that time. So that leaves us at the moment with Sealed, with Alderete. Nordy can play centre-back, of course. Masuaku showed last night that he can play centre-back as well. So we do have some other options that I would probably like us to explore, especially after Sealt's display against Burnley and you know the way he sort of came in for Ballard. Sealt was great against West Ham, and I won't take that away from him, but I think he needs to be a bit better. That Burnley game really showed that. Interesting about Sealt, though, it looks like a club in Italy have inquired about him, but Sunderland have stood firm and said, no, we're not letting him go at this moment because, you know, with all the injuries that we've got, we can't be seen to just, you know, lose any more defensive players. And, you know, you've already got 09 that's injured, Elise that's injured, Sirkin that's injured, Huggins is injured, Ballard's injured. We don't want to be letting any more go. We're not just, as we've clearly seen so far, a bottomless pit of money that can just, you know, splash all this cash out on a lot of people there. The other link, there's a few links actually, but we'll go through the main one first, which is Axel Disasi of Chelsea has been linked. Now, he plays right back and centre back for him. I think last year he played about 10, 13 times in the Premier League, played in the Conference League for Chelsea, was also part of an Aston Villa team. Were they in the Europa League last year, I think, or were they in the Champions League? I don't know. Either way, he was at Villa for the second half of the season. It looks like he was mainly used against the likes of, you know, Southamptons, the Ipswiches, the lower league sort of teams there. Did play at right back, did play at centre back as well. So again, is that another, you know, one that if we do get Axel Disasi or if we go after him there, that is another nail in the coffin of Huggins, because that gives us 3 in Hume, Nordy and Axel, who can all play out there as well. You know, potentially. But then another link also said on Inside Football, Sunderland are playing down talks of having made an approach for Axel Disasi. So not that we've said no, they're just playing down talks of it there. We've, of course, linked with Lucumi, as you can see at the bottom of the link there. Sunderland have been linked, keen to bring in Bologna's John Lucumi all through the summer, although the player is pushing for the move, but the deal is yet to happen. So I don't know if Axel Disasi is like our backup to potentially going after Lucumi. It does seem that on that Lucumi one, we might have been given a glimmer of hope, shall we say. According to reports in Italy, Bologna are now set to discuss the sale of John Lucumi in a potential boost to Sunderland with their £26 million offer still on the table. The CEO said the time frame for the offer didn't materialise. I think he's talking about there was a bit where there was a release clause in effect up until a certain point, but we were still looking to try and get it under that value. So we've waited for that clause to expire so that we can negotiate a proper price, I guess, there. Where was I? In reports, they're looking to bring in Union Berlin's Diogo Liete as a replacement to Lucumi. So that's, I think, why they're more sort of open to this sale at the moment. Of course, Lucimi's agent has been far from quiet about it, sort of saying last year we were asked to stay, and we did so with great availability. This year, however, since the beginning of the season, the message has always been clear on both sides. If the right offer had arrived, John would have had the possibility of a transfer. But with less than a week to go until the window slams shut, the window just never closes. It's always slamming shut, isn't it? The Sunderland offer remains on the table, and Lucimi's stance seemingly remains the same. But whether the defender ends the summer as a Premier League player still remains to be seen. I still think he's the one we need to be going for. Having done a bit of research on, how he plays and the, his lack of injuries as well, but I know anyone can be susceptible to that. I think he's one that we really should be going for. I think Alderete looks great value if we've got him for like 10 or 12, but I know Lucumi you're going to be paying a lot more. But then you've got the other side of it where Axel Disasi has Premier League experience already with Chelsea and Aston Villa, and has played in Europe as well. So they're both similar costs of money. So I'd be interested to see in the comments what you would prefer, if Lucimi's the one, if Diasi's the one as well. If there's anybody else that you think we should have gone for, because we're only got a few days left now, or should be going for as well. But that's the sort of murmurings coming out at the minute. There is talk, I think, of a striker, which is this lad here, who is Delane Bakwa. We are linked. This article is about Disasi and him as well. However, the Black Cats are not completely finished forking out excessive wads of money, if the new rumours are to be believed, with a 30 million potentially being spent to try and land Strasbourg's star striker. Well, just star there. Delane Bakwa was previously on Leeds United's radar. So, of course, we like to rob players off Leeds as well. And then down the bottom it mentions Disasi. So, Bakwa has played for Bordeaux B team, Bordeaux, and then Strasbourg as well. In 62 appearances, he has got 9 goals in the league. Let's have a look. So last season, 30 games, 5 goals. And then in the previous season, 31 games and 4 goals as well. And then this season, he's played once and not scored yet. So, not prolific, shall we say. Definitely gets a couple. I don't know if they're trying to sort of eke it around the team that all the forwards tend to get a couple of goals rather than, everyone getting, or one player getting, multiple there. The rest of that article reads as follows. In a bid to introduce more star quality of the ranks, Sunderland are now tipped to make a last-ditch 30 million move for Strasbourg attacker Bakwa. Also on the table being interested, the prospect of snapping up Chelsea's reserve defender Axel Disasi to add more Premier League recognised defenders to the group. So those are the 3 big links that we've had so far. I do think we definitely need the defensive reinforcements. I know Ballard's, as we've seen there, potentially back in a couple of weeks there. But again, once he goes, or if he goes down injured, what else have we got? I think Nordi should be played outright. I think Masuaku's better as a fullback. Not that they can't do a job for us. I just think that's where they should be. And then the forward one, yeah, I'd love another forward. Although Giu took his goal well last night, I didn't think he linked in well completely with the team the whole game, but it's his first game and the team were getting used to him and he was getting used to them. But when the chance came from Alexis's cross, he took his header really well. Isidore played poor in the first half, shall we say, and then when he actually got moved out onto the left channel, he did really well. He was taking on his man, trying to get in and around him, then was a bit more threatening. So I don't know if it's just he's not playing well as a 2, but do we need another striker option? I possibly think if we're going to get someone, I want them to spend the money on someone who's prolific or proven at whatever level they're playing, but clearly is a goal scorer, not between 5 and 10. You want someone in the sort of 10 to 20s a season, that sort of thing. If we're going to spend that much money, that's what we should be looking at, especially that's what we don't have, what we haven't had for quite some time. I know we've got Mayenda and Isidore did get about that last season, but this is another step up in level for them, as we saw. I mean, they both already have 1, but Mayenda should probably have 2. Isidore didn't really do much in the second half against Burnley to get 1 either. And then Giu, we've got to hope that he sort of comes in and can score some goals for us as well. So let me know what you think in the comments. Is there anybody we should really be breaking the bank for? Is there any striking options, defensive options that we haven't covered that you've heard rumoured as well? I like to read them all and sort of get chatting with you as well. So if you haven't, I'm going to do it again. But if you haven't already, like the video, hit subscribe. It really does help us out. And we'll see you all for the Brentford preview. So take care, everyone, and goodbye now.